This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift. Thank you for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to Public House Media. Are there times when you feel overwhelmed, that you feel like you are just not able to get everything done on your to-do list? Are there times when you are just overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have to do in a day and you're just like, oh my goodness, if I knew a solution to getting over all of this, I would do it by now? Right? Do you ever feel that way? I know I have felt that way at times, and today I want to share with you 8 tips, 8 tricks in helping you figure out how to manage your time better here in 2019. I don't want you feeling overwhelmed. I don't want you feeling stressed out and feeling like you're not enough. So this morning I'm going to give you 8 tips to help you with the time management. I also want to share with you this verse that has just been a mantra in my life lately. And it's been kind of my battle cry the last month. And I know it's something that has helped me kind of refocus and re-get going. And so if it's been helping me, I want to share it with you, which is what this is all about. Here at Choose to Rise, we want to help you rise up out of your current struggles and live your absolute best life. And so anything that I can provide to you and share with you on what we can do differently, I'd love to do. Is this working correctly? I haven't seen anyone get on yet, but I think I might be sideways to you. I don't really know why. Anyway, let's get rolling, right? So Ezra 10:4, rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you. So take courage and do it, right? So that means that everything we need is already here in our hands. We just have to prioritize. We just have to look at what we have. We just have to figure out what we're doing. And so if you are joining us here for the very first time, hey, thanks for joining live. Would you comment if I'm sideways or not? I can't really tell. It's weird on my phone screen sometime this morning. But hey, let's keep going, huh? So, welcome to Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise. I am so glad that you're here with us this morning. If you're just joining us for the very first time here on the Facebook page, I might be sideways. If you're joining us in the podcast version for the very first time, I appreciate you. We are here for 3 days a week. We drop every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I love having this time with you and be encouraged and support you in everything that we do. So if you enjoy this, share this with a family member, share this on your social media, tell someone about it. Leaving a rating and review helps so many people find it and enjoy this as well. And make sure you also subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Podbean, if you are listening someplace else, hit subscribe so you don't ever miss an episode. It would be super appreciated if you shared with someone else. And if you're interested in joining me in a Choose to Rise community on Facebook, that'd be great too. I share lots of other tips and things there. Good morning, Kelly. Would you tell me if I'm sideways to you? And so if you can join me on the Choose to Rise community on the Facebook page, or if you're really interested in changing into some healthy habits this year, let's connect. Let's get connected here, and we can talk about you joining our Together We Rise group, where we support each other with healthy habits, fitness, nutrition, mindset, all the things, and we're always there. Yes, I am. Okay, so strange. I guess I can't really turn myself either though. So we'll just go with it. I hope that you enjoy it, I guess. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about 8 habits of personal development and time management skills. I don't even know where my stand is to even turn it. But okay, here we go. There are lots of ways that we can feel overwhelmed in the world. And there are lots of ways that you can, I want to give you 8 personal 8 things that I've done personally in my life to help change my time management, help myself feel more productive in the end of the day, and kind of master some routines. Oh, maybe I can do this. Here, let me see if I can turn myself. All right, am I upright with you now, Kelly? Okay, let's do this. Oh, yay for pop sockets. Okay, so number one is master your morning routine. Okay, master your morning routine. The morning is the peak performance time. They say the first 10 minutes of your day, the first 10 waking moments of your life each and every day are the things that are the time of the day that is you're the most energetic. They're the most important in your day, because that's the time that you're most influenced. So it's very important that you stay with the right mindset right away in your day. Morning routines play an important role in setting yourself up for the day. So it's important to focus on your mind, not get distracted with things, and that you aren't own your own randomly. My cord is in my way of my notes now. Happy New Year's, right? It's so important to focus on your mind, not get distracted with things that are randomly happening, like cords in the front of your notes. So the one thing you do, master your morning routine and focus on your mind, and you stay in the tasks that you have in your to-do list. So one of the things that I do right away in the morning is I wake up right when my eyes are awake, or that I feel like I'm awake. I just lay there in bed for the first few seconds, few minutes, and just thank God for all the things that He's given me. So I start my day with gratitude, because I know that those first 10 minutes are so important, so crucial into starting my day off well. So if I start my day and I roll over and look at my phone and I get into other people's business, if I roll over and, check my email, I'm getting into other people's agendas. I want to focus on the one that made me, the one that created me, the one that starts everything for me, and it wakes me up every day. So I start my day with gratitude, thanking Him for all the amazing things that He's given me. Sometimes that's a lot of repeated stuff. Sometimes it's new things. Sometimes I start thinking about the other amazing things that I have throughout the day. I'll then get up in the morning, get my go-go juice, which is already gone, and sit down here with my devotional. So I'm doing a new devotional. I'm going to give a little shout out here. I don't normally do this, but I used to have a 365 journal that had a verse or like information at the top and then a space to write. Well, now that's gone. That's all used up. It's the new year. So now I'm reading Bound Blessings, a devotional by Madison Blocher. She's a local. She's a college student. And it's an amazing book so far. I'm on day 2, but I've also flipped through the other pages, and I think it's going to be really good. So, it's a little difference for me, because I'm reading first, and then I'm journaling second. So if you need a devotional, I would highly suggest that you check out Bound Blessings by Madison Blocher. You can find her on Instagram at Bound Blessings, and you can do other things that way. I'm not affiliated with her anyway, other than I just know she's a beautiful young woman in our community, and I love her book. So you could check that out. So, morning routines are number one. And if you can start out with a good thing there, maybe your morning routine includes exercise, maybe your morning routine plugs into some personal development like this one. I also start, after I've done that and I'm moving around, I plug in my earphones and I listen to Quote of the Day, which is an amazing podcast. It's usually very short. And I plug into that and I listen to that. I start doing my podcast, and it's awesome. It's a great way to a routine every single day to help you to be your best. The second thing that you can do for time management is to write things down. I don't know about you, but if I just try to think about it, if I just try to remember, it just doesn't work very well. So the other thing you can do is, it doesn't necessarily make up, good morning, Maddie. Doesn't necessarily make up a ton of time, but that you are going to save so much time doing it, is writing things down. It not only frees up your mind to be able to think about other things, the more important things that are on your to-do list, but it helps you remember everything that you're going. If you're going crazy in the day, be for sure to write things down. Your brain is the limited capacity. It's only so big. It could only hold so much, kind of like this cup could only hold so much water. So if you are constantly having new ideas, if you're constantly having new things to think about, write them down, empty your cup so you can actually think about the things that you need to think. Or like your computer screen, when you have 10,000 tabs open, it can't think anymore. Close some of them down and write down your to-do list. So when you consume the capacity, so much is going on, you just can't quite accomplish everything you want to do. You're going to feel like you are just spinning your wheels. So 2 things that I can help you with here is that write down your goals. One thing that I've been doing this morning, in this new year, at least now that I'm doing this in a different devotion, is for me to write my response to the devotion on one side and my goals on the other. So whether it's daily goals, maybe it's year-long goals, things that you're really trying to focus on, what it is that write down the things that you want to accomplish either in that day or in the month or in the year, so you can focus on the things that are really important to you. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Carla. I'm glad you're joining. Tip number 3 is to prioritize. So now that you've got everything written down in your day, I'm also another list maker. These are the things that I wrote down yesterday that I need to get done, and prioritize those things now. So give your time to the things that are going to move the needle the most. What are the things that are a must do in your day? Select the top 3 things from your list and then reach those things first. Or organize your day in a way that's going to fit into the things if you have to go someplace to do things. Like today we have an oil change at 10 o'clock. So I'm organizing my morning to fit things in that need to be so I can get to that thing on time. But it's a very important thing in our day. So it's just a matter of maneuvering the things around and making you feel less overwhelmed by having a plan. Prioritizing them makes the list smaller. It actually eliminates extra pressure to get everything done on the list. And it also reduces stress and makes sure that your deadlines are met. Make sure that you're getting to where you need to go. And if you have really difficult tasks on there, put them first. So kind of eat that frog, kind of like as Brian Tracy would say, if you've ever read that book. It's also a great one. And so making sure that you handle the difficult tasks in the first half of the day when you, 1, have the more energy, 2, you have the most focus, and 3, you'll just feel more accomplished when you get those things done. Thank you, Sarah. Good morning. Number 4 is set a clear goal. Deciding on the important task is the first step in the process. And if the task feels like a lot, separate it out into bite-sized pieces. So I had a really big goal that I was working on the other day, and I knew it was going to be a huge amount of work. So I started to break it down. I focused in on the smaller things that I needed to do that are going to, like a puzzle piece, that work together and fit into one thing. So after you kind of figure out the tasks that you need to do on your to-do list, take the big item and break it down into smaller bits yet. You don't eat the whole steak at once. You cut it into pieces and eat it like that, right? So if you have a really big task that you need to work on, break it down into small pieces and achieve one each time. I see Kelly is watching here. She is a painter. She's a wonderful painter. If you need something painted here in the northeastern Iowa, check her out. But she doesn't paint a whole room all at once. She picks a wall and she goes with it, or she does the trimming first and then she prioritizes her time, right? She figures out the task and breaks it down into small pieces. So when you can do that, it will free up a lot of stress. It will give you more clarity on your goal, and it will give you more control over the situation and help you feel much more empowered to go do great things. Number 5, I'm going to tell you to use time blocking. This is huge, and it's kind of a relatively new method for functioning in your kind of new concept. You're welcome, Kelly. In that you can help yourself get into a time blocking chunk. So our attention spans are not very long. In fact, in the more we go into this world, our attention spans are getting smaller and smaller because of the immediacy of all of our technology that we have. But if we are really focused on our time on small chunks of time, so like say that I'm going to be working on my business for 1 hour, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to move away. When I plan out all my podcast topics for the month, I sit down for 25 minutes and I set a timer and I just go, because I know that if I'm thinking about other things, if I'm trying to multitask, I'm never going to get there. So giving yourself a certain amount of time to do something and then blocking that certain amount of time off on your calendar so that's just what you're going to do. Get rid of all the distractions. Maybe you turn off all of the other things. Good morning, Baxter. And you get rid of all the other stuff. So if you're looking at making sure you're focusing in on one specific task at a time, blocking those things into your schedule and making your schedule look like color-coded areas. That's another tip I have for you, is that this is kind of a bonus tip. Is that when you put things in your calendar, color code them so that you know what is most important and maybe what goes to what. So when I plug out my calendar, I have family things that are one color, I have business things that are another color, I have tasks, like daily tasks that are non-negotiables in another color. Like you just try to put things in there that you know that you have all the roles of your life kind of identified and they're in there and you know what's important for you. Number 6 is no multitasking. Okay, so we've kind of touched on this one a little bit. I color code everything. Great job, Maddie. Okay, no multitasking. The biggest time management mistake you can make is to multitask. We think that we're more productive when we can get more things done at once, like two to three tasks at once, but you will very soon realize that it's just taking you way more time to get any one of those things done, and that you're going to actually reduce your efficiency, and you're going to up your anxiety because you're not getting anything done. It's been proven that the brain can really only focus on one thing at a time. So if you have more things to do, go back to that task that I told you before and time chunk it out. Give yourself 25 minutes to do this, and then 20 minutes to do that, or an hour to do this and an hour to do that. However long you think that it should take you to do it, give yourself that and maybe 5 more minutes, because you can accomplish that task. And if you get it done early, you can either move on to the next task, or you can use that extra buffer time to go take a brain break and figure out what you need to do to go accomplish the next one. Kind of refresh yourself. I know that when I sit here in my office all day long, it drives me bananas and I feel just like blah. But if I get up and I have in the morning, we have a 10 a.m. walk the dog in my calendar that says, get out of the house, go get some fresh air. And so that's one of the things that I use to help not only refresh my brain, but it helps me stay grounded and continue to be focused. So number 7 for you is to avoid distractions. I know this is super hard, especially in how connected we are in this world. But while working, I try to avoid all distractions possible. Turn off your phone. I know, a crazy thought. I know. I've turned off all the notifications on my social media, and it has been such a blessing. I can get so much more done when I'm not corner of my eye is not seeing my phone blip constantly. It's crazy. And hey, people still leave messages and I get back to them. It's all good. So turn off the phone or flip it over or put it in another room. I oftentimes as well don't have my phone next to me when I go to bed at night, because the light will wake you up and keep you going. And turn your phone maybe off into do not disturb so that you just can't be connected. If someone has to get a hold of you, they will. So don't feel like you are completely segregating yourself from the world. The other very important part of this is to, you're not necessarily trying to be secluded, but you're trying to stay focused on what it is that you need to do. So sit in a place where you're the least possibility of getting disturbed. If you have a separate home office, go to that space. If you can go to the kitchen and everyone else is in the living room, do that. But try to sit at the same place every day to get work done. This will also help your brain kind of start that I'm in work mode kind of thought process, so that you can really get things done a lot quicker by being in the same space and having all those physical cues around you as well. Having this home office has been amazing this last year. Before, I worked at a desk in my bedroom or on my bed or at the coffee table or at the kitchen table, and it was just kind of like woo. But when you can have a separated space, a spot that is your spot, and you can really focus in it when you get there, that's the best thing to do. And number 8, I'm going to tell you for your time management skill might surprise you, but number 8 is to say no. Yeah, you heard me. Say no. The habit of saying no is the ability to change your life around. I'm not kidding here, okay? I'm not trying to say you're going to reject everybody that comes your direction. I'm saying be protective of your time. I'm saying be protective of the priorities that you have on your list. Who are you most wanting to spend your time with? What are the things that are going to be the things that are going to move the needle forward in your goals? And they're going to help you reach your potential, the things that you want to achieve first, instead of everyone else's agendas. I'm not asking you to say no to everything that comes your way. I'm asking you to do so in a way that is getting rid of the non things that are going to work for you, that are going to be time wasters for you. There are certain things in everyone's life that waste a ton of time, okay? So if it's a social media thing, if it's an app on your phone, my kids downloaded this word games app on my phone, and I find myself sometimes just clicking on it, and that's such a time waster. I need to delete it. But also other things, people think now that I work full-time at home, she doesn't do anything. We're going to ask her to do all kinds of stuff, and I've gotten really good at saying no. Now, there are things that I do for other people because it's a good thing to do. It fits into my schedule. I have the time to do so, but I'm very protective of the time that I have set aside to do the things that I need to accomplish. And I also give people time windows. So when someone wants to meet or someone wants me to do something for them, and I say, oh, we can do it in the afternoon, Instead of saying it that way, I say, I have this much time to give. How much time do you need? What is it that you're looking for? And if I can adjust and do something, cool. But if, there are probably a lot of times in your day that you're just saying yes to other people's stuff, and you're going to take away the time that you need to get your things accomplished. And then that makes you feel stressed out, and then that makes you not get your stuff done, and that's when you feel crappy. So don't give your time away to other people. Prioritize, like we talked about earlier, prioritize your day, figure out exactly what the things are that you need to get done, and then get going on those things. And if other people's stuff fits in there, awesome. I'm all about serving others and being a servant leadership, but you got to know there's a balance there. So all of these 8 tips, whether it's, it's being able to say no, it's avoiding the distractions, it's not multitasking, it's using time blocking effectively, you're setting a clear goal, clarity helps everything. You prioritize your time and you write things down, and that you master your morning routine. All of these things are going to help you save time. All of these things are going to help you be your absolute best. All of these 8 things are going to help you achieve so much more in your day, so much more in your month, so much in your year. So I hope that you put one of these 8 tips into practice today, and that you really help others, help yourself be your best and role model for other people. It's the best thing that we can do. They say, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Show a man a fish, and he eats for a lifetime. So role model for other people, the people in your life, in your family, in your extended family, the things that you're doing in a day to live your best life. And, you're not only going to help yourself, but you'll be helping others, and it'll be kind of a pay it forward kind of situation. So thank you so much for joining this morning. Apologize for being crooked at the very beginning. We're going to have to figure that out, Baxter. And we'll go from here. But thank you so much for joining this morning. And again, if you are new here, make sure you hit subscribe here to Public House Media. If you're in the podcast, hit subscribe if you're an Apple Podcast or Podbean or wherever you're listening in on. I appreciate you, and share this with other people. It helps more and more people be exposed to Choose to Rise and choose for themselves if they want to continue to join. Thanks again, and I will see you again here later in the week. Talk to you later. Happy New Year.